He's really thinking about it. Got a lick and a chew there. And here he comes. I'm going to look away. Just going to leave this outstretched and see what he decides to do. Here he comes. He decides he's not interested, feels a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to back away. And he comes. Beautiful. Let's see if I can approach slowly, not looking him in his eyes. Oh, there we go. My finger went into his lip a little bit, and he really wasn't expecting it. But that's okay, that's a great start. Welcome to Mustang Juniper's first session. Juniper has been with us for about 2.5 weeks now. I have been sitting with him about 3 days a week while he eats his feed. I have matched steps with him one day and done the Icu exercise that you saw in our Wild to Willing series with Sundancer, where I walk around until he's looking at me, and when he looks, I turn away to indicate to him that I notice when he is paying attention to me. Okay, so here we are. This is the first day that I've brought in a bag of hay, and we're going to see if we can get our first willing touches with Juniper. So a little bit of background on this guy. He was owned by a woman who I guess couldn't afford to feed him and the other 2 Mustangs that she had. So they were gotten from her by a local outfit that takes people on horseback rides up in the mountains. And he was going to be trained to do that. So they got a little bit of weight put on him there. He's looking much better than he did. But he wasn't making great progress with the training methods used there. So the owners thought he would benefit from a gentle hand. And so he came to us about 2.5 weeks ago. So today we're going to see if we can get his first willing touches. He has been haltered, he has been hard tied, and he still has a ton of anxiety. He does not like to be approached. He will join up in a round pen, but that's a little bit of a forceful method as well, because you're putting pressure on the horse all the way around the pen until they face up with you, and then you release the pressure. So they learn in that way that the only way to get relief from running around is to face you. So we're going to completely start over with Juniper, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what that looks like step by step. And we'll be on this guy's journey together. Okay, so starting out first thing today, I always like to sit down, relax. I'm going to make sure that I slow my breathing down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to breathe in and out, and I'm going to count how many seconds those breaths take. And then on the next breath, I'm going to make my exhale 1 second longer than my inhale. And I'm going to repeat that process until my in-breath and out-breath each take about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to try and keep that breath rate throughout my entire session with this guy. And what that does is puts my body in a very calm and relaxed state, which lets him know that I'm safe and there's no danger. Because if I were to be in here breathing like really fast and anxious, he's going to get anxious because he's assuming that I'm breathing like that because there's danger somewhere. So in the herd, the horses really rely on one another to notice and point out danger. So if I'm indicating that I feel safe and completely relaxed and that there's no danger, he will automatically feel much more safe, and feel much more able to connect with me than if I came in here and was feeling very anxious. So that's why I like to do this quick breathing exercise. And along with that, once I get my breathing rate slow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine very clearly in my mind that he is very comfortable with me and he comes right up, sniffs my hand, maybe even allows me to touch his face. So we'll see how that goes. And I just want to say that even though I'm hoping for that outcome, I don't have any expectations. You never know how any session with a horse is going to go. So if you come in expecting to get a certain outcome, that gives a sense of urgency in your body as well, and a sense of need that they can also sense, and that will sometimes come across as danger to them as well. So we don't want to have any expectations. Those are just my hopes, and my intention for this session is to have him feeling more comfortable with humans than he did at the beginning of the session. So really simple intention, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to do that little breathing exercise. I'll probably put this section in high speed so it goes by really quick for you guys. And then we will get into our first exercise with Juniper. Okay, and at the end of my little beginning session ritual, I'm going to create a feeling in my body of safety and comfort. So how you do that is think of a memory where you just felt so safe and comfortable and relaxed, and you're just going to bring that memory to mind and feel what it feels like throughout your body. And once you've got that, then you're just going to try and maintain that feeling throughout your body as you begin your session with your horse. So I am calling a feeling of safety and comfort, which will help this guy feel more safe and comfortable with me. He's already interested. You can see he's just sitting there looking at me like, what are you going to do? We've got some nice licking and chewing already there. Overall, I think this guy's had some iffy experiences with humans, but he seems pretty willing to connect. So we'll see how that goes. And let's get started. So in my bag here, I've just got a bunch of alfalfa. These are just scraps that fell off of my flakes when I'm feeding. And I've just got them in this bag so that I can easily grab a handful without dropping stuff all over the ground here. So what we're going to start out doing is we're going to start out with the Icu exercise. So we're going to walk around. He looks. We're going to turn away and mark that I saw that he is paying attention to me. And you see him turn and think about approaching me already. Okay, so he's looking now. I'm going to switch. Okay, he's not interested. I'm going to back off because I made him feel a little stressed by outstretching my arm just then. And we don't want to make him uncomfortable. So him stepping away was actually a stress indicator, so that's why I backed off. Okay, we're going to continue with Icu. Okay, there we go. Doesn't take long once they understand. And I'm keeping this feeling of safety and comfort. Notice I'm starting at the opposite end of the pen. I'm not trying to get real close to him yet. And I'm also not demanding his attention. I'm waiting, letting him do whatever he wants to do back there, and then in a minute or so, we'll continue. We've got some licking and chewing. That's always good. That is a sign that he is relaxing. Back down into the parasympathetic state, releasing any worry that he built up. There he goes. Now I'm just going to see what he does here if I just inch my way closer. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, he's itching. I thought he was fixing to come this way. No problem. Okay. Now, when I'm approaching this guy, I'm going to be approaching sideways so that I appear smaller. Approaching head-on is very intimidating. We tend to approach in a very predatory manner, so I don't want to do that. I want to approach sideways like this. See, it's much less intimidating. I can't pounce sideways, it just doesn't work. And with my hips, I'm going to be pushing my hips away from him, which is drawing him towards me. Okay, so, and then as I approach, I'm going to be watching very carefully for any sort of stress indicator. Right now, we see his eyes are blinking, his ears are moving around, he's got a very regular breath rate going. So we're going to be watching all of those things. We're also going to be watching the level of his neck. If it pops up at any point, that's a stress indicator. And when we see any stress indicator, that's our sign to stop approaching. So let's see. Looked, so I'm going to relieve pressure for that. Even just my body coming into his space adds pressure to him. This is something that a lot of people don't understand with horses, but very literally, even your presence puts pressure on the horse, especially these wild guys. You see those eyes getting real droopy. They're almost closing. That does mean he's nice and relaxed. approaching this time, and we'll see what he does. Okay, he's interested. You see him shift towards me? He shifted away slightly, so I backed up, and then he shifted towards me. Don't want him to feel the need to leave, so I'm going to back off here. We see a head shake. Some blinking. That head lowers. And now he's facing me again. Okay, let's just see. He looked away. I'm going to back off. Got a nice lick and chew. Means he's relaxing back down, and he looks back at me. Might go back to marking that I see him. Okay. Now, at this stage, I'm going to grab some hay and see if I can tempt him to approach me in exchange for this bite of hay. Okay, he looks away. I'm going to back off. Just kind of rustle it a little bit with my fingers because they generally know the sound of hay. It's for you. He's really thinking about it. Got a lick and a chew there. And here he comes. I'm going to look away. Just going to leave this outstretched and see what he decides to do. Here he comes. He decides he's not interested, feels a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to back away. And he comes. Beautiful. Let's see if I can approach slowly, not looking him in his eyes. Oh, there we go. My finger went into his lip a little bit, and he really wasn't expecting it. But that's okay, that's a great start. A lot of the times, these guys don't come up and eat out of your hand on session 1, so I'll take it. And granted, this guy has had experience with humans before, but he has been pretty petrified, so we are definitely starting from ground zero. Now try and keep my fingers away from his lips this time. Okay, he looks away, that's a stress indicator. We got a sigh, and here he comes. Good. And when he takes it, I'm going to move out of his space. And we see that head level drop. He took the long part, but wasn't too sure about the shorter stuff, so I'm going to see if I can grab a handful that sticks out a little bit more. That's the infamous reach. They won't feel comfortable standing next to you in the beginning, but they'll almost stand on their toes and reach as far as they can to get the hay from you. It's pretty funny. I like having them approach me versus me trying to approach them. And what this is doing right now is building positive associations with me, or with humans in general. So he's had bad experiences. We want to build some good ones. Very good. And he can back away. Notice I'm not trying to touch him at all yet. We don't want to rush anything. There's a tarp blowing in the wind over there. He's a little bit focused on too at the moment. Notice my hips. They're inviting him in. That time he didn't feel the need to back off quite so far. That's very good. See if I can bring him a little bit closer this time. Got Sundancer over here begging to get in on the action. Good. Alright, now I'm going to get him to take one more handful and we're going to call it. That's going to be all we do for session 1. We're ending it on a very positive note. And he's going to remember this experience. Alright, that's it guys. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned to see his progress.